Welcome to another live stream of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Tap in. Tap the fuck in. What we here on today, Mr. Roll Up? Hey, look, we gonna talk about these sneaky links and the missions. Which area did you come from? Tap in. Tap the fuck in. Now, I scheduled this live a little earlier, but shit happened. You know what I'm saying? So here I am with it. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Missions are sneaky links. I'm gonna tell you like this: the missions, them was way safer than these sneaky links. Tap in, tap the fuck in. Hey, low key, it's a dangerous game on both sides of the fence, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna break this shit down to y'all. Why I roll with the missions over the sneaky links. Tap in, tap the fuck in. A lot of motherfuckers didn't got popped up going on them sneaky moves. It's better off that you had that shit playing right before you jump in that field. Because if you don't, shit can turn tragic. Tap in, tap the fuck in. I done did both of them. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, man, them sneaky links will get your ass killed. Tap in, tap the fuck in. All right, let's get it. First off, right? I'm gonna start with the mission side. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've been going on missions since I was a kid. You feel me? My first time when I lost my virginity at 12 years old, that was on a mission. You know what I'm saying? What you mean by missions and sneaky links? Well, missions was like more so planned out. It was thought of. That's what we did in my time frame when we was growing up. When we was like 12, 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? We started going on missions, and basically the mission to be like we about to go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go to the summer jams. We gonna go to the club. Whatever events going on. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Litterer's family. What's the deal? Tap in, tap the fuck in. Missions. We'd be like at a party or something. You know what I'm saying? And you see a girl in there you like or something. You know what I'm saying? You get her number. You talk to her organically. You know, way before all this internet shit. That them was missions. You know what I'm saying? And when you get the girl number, you talk to her over the phone and shit off the house phones. Back then, it was the house phones. You know what I'm saying? It was either you had a house phone or you had a Nextel. You know what I'm saying? Nextel slash Boost. That's what was popping at the time. You know what I'm saying? So after you get a girl number, you know what I'm saying? You call her, y'all vet each other over the phone for a couple of weeks or so. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all get to meeting, doing y'all thing. That's a mission. You know what I'm saying? Millie Omi, what's the deal? Tap in. Tap the fuck in. We are talking about these sneaky links and these missions. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? You know? Um, Back to the missions, like I said, we would catch the bus to the mall, just to get numbers. You know, I made a video about that while we used to catch the bus just to Eastland Mall, or I mean damn, we didn't catch the bus up there. We me and my man's wine, we rode up there in my cart. Now on the west side, we used to catch the bus to Northland Mall or Fairlane Mall. You know what I'm saying? Them was the two malls on the west, and then you had Eastland on the east. Either side, you know what I'm saying? What we'd do is we'd go to the mall just to get numbers. You know, that was the mission. You know what I'm saying? That's the mission that we was on. The mission that we was on to go get numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's the mission. Okay, after that mission get completed, now you on to the next mission. What's the next mission? Shit, now you trying to fuck. You know what I'm saying? So now you calling her, you talking to her, you know what I'm saying? You doing all the right things. You know, you buy her something here and there, whatever, you know, take her on a movie date or something, you know what I'm saying? Little shit like that, you know? And then boom, the next movie is to get some. That was a mission. Or just say like you could be in the hood and a new girl move in the hood or something. You know what I'm saying? And you go over there and you go introduce yourself. You know, you see she just moved in, you know, she new to the neighborhood, you know, shit like that. She probably your type, you know, or something you want to fuck with on the side, whoopty whoop. Or you just want her to be comfortable in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So you stop over there, you get to talking to her, you know what I'm saying? You telling her how the hood work, you know, who is who, blah, 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 all of that shit, you know. You start making her comfortable, you know. So you coming over there all the time, sitting on the porch with her, you know what I'm saying? Y'all cracking jokes, smoke a blunt or two, you know what I'm saying? Have a drink or something. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting cool as hell, you know what I'm saying? And that's the mission. You know what I'm saying? The mission was to make her comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You completed that mission. Now she started inviting you in the house. What's the next mission? The clap. You know what I'm saying? And now you know, next thing you know, you over there clapping, and that's y'all business. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know what y'all doing. It ain't, you know, hood news for everybody. That's just what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? That's a mission. So you could be on the block with your boys and shit. Just say girl in the hood, just say she stay a couple blocks over. You know what I'm saying? From where you and your boys be at. And your boys be like, hey, you know, what you about to do? Woo woo. You be over there like shit, I'm about to go on the mission. You know what I'm saying? Niggas can see it in your face. You about to dip. Like you on something. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be like, what you on? What you about to do? Shit, I'm on the mission. You know? You don't got to tell your mans you know where you going. And just tell them you on a mission. Niggas be like, oh, okay. Niggas already know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Your mission is you about to go over girl house. You know what I'm saying? You about to go over there and do your thing. That ain't nobody business. No, that ain't nobody business. That's a straight mission. You know what I'm saying? Now you over there cutting girl from the hood. Don't nobody know what y'all doing. I mean, well, I can't say that. That's cap. Because if it's in the hood, everybody gonna know what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? People gonna see you over there. People gonna see your car, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what the fuck I mean, though. The mission is, you know what I'm saying, to go do your thing. You know, and it don't got to be nobody business. It's not going on the internet. It ain't none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? The mission is to go ahead and get your pleasure and do whatever it is you about to do. That's the mission. You know what I'm saying? After you complete the mission, boom, you back on the block, or you about to go do whatever you about to do. You know? Will Cash Grow back in the day, yup, did that too. Try to hit 2 malls. I swear to God, man. Swear to God, bro. Man, look, it been times we go hit all 3 malls in one day. Eastland on the deep east, on the deep east side of Detroit. Eastland sit on 8 Mile and Kelly. You know what I'm saying? We had started at Eastland Mall. We'd be in there for like 2 hours or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Getting all the numbers we can. And we'd get up to like 10 numbers. You know what I'm saying? That'd be enough. And then we'd dip. We'd leave Eastland, hop right on 8 Mile, 8 Mile, straight down to the west side. You know what I'm saying? Northland Mall set on 8 Mile and Greenfield. So we used to take 8 Mile all the way back west. You know what I'm saying? Until we get back to the deep west side. Boom. Then we pull up the Northland Mall. You know what I'm saying? We in that bitch going crazy. Get another 5, 10 numbers out that bitch, you know? We leave there, jump on Southfield Freeway south. Southfield Freeway south, take us back to Dearborn. You know what I'm saying? Fairlane Mall in Dearborn. Fairlane Mall was like the best mall. You know what I'm saying? It had a cross between the rich people and the hood motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So Fairlane always popped the hardest. You know what I'm saying? Northland and Eastland was the ghetto malls. You know what I'm saying? But Fairlane ain't played it. You know what I'm saying? It was in a suburban city. You know what I'm saying? They ain't played it. Made $20 bets on who could get the most. Promise you, swear to God. That's what we did. We did shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like we'd be hoeing each other, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes niggas don't got the money, you know what I'm saying? So we'd be like, all right, nigga, you know, you don't got no cheese. If you don't make this bet, you know what I'm saying? We gonna hoe you, you know what I'm saying? And basically we just be around each other just frying the nigga and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga don't get no numbers, he don't get no money, nothing, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that really is like a motivation, you know what I'm saying, to get your shit right. So yeah, we had our ways on how we betted and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was crazy. But, you know, them was all a part of the mission. You know what I'm saying? It was all a part of the mission. The mission is go take care of your business and be done. You know what I'm saying? Move on. You know what I'm saying? Man, they fucked the game up with this sneaky link shit. You know, sneaky links, man. They crossing each other people. You know what I'm saying? You know, sliding to the wife house or the husband house. You know, sneaking behind their friends and all of that shit, man. Man, that shit fucked the game up. You know what I'm saying? When we went on missions, we'd be back within a couple of hours. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we might spend the night, you know, at the most. You know, like I had this one mission, you know, me and her, we was cool as hell, you know what I'm saying? And she had two kids. But she didn't have a problem with me around the kids, you know what I'm saying? At the time I ain't had no kids. But she had two kids, you know. Basically I come over, you know what I'm saying, play with the kids, talk a little shit with them. They go to bed, you know what I'm saying? We do our thing. I spend the night. That'd be my mission for the night. You know what I'm saying? It got me out the hood, it got me out the way and shit, you know. I wasn't messing with no married woman or none of that shit. This was a pure mission. You know what I'm saying? See, them sneaky links be when a motherfucker messing with a motherfucker wife and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Laid up with the broad and all of that. That's these sneaky links. You know what I'm saying? But the missions back where I came from, man, we ain't play like that. You know what I'm saying? We did our thing and we got the fuck on. You know, and like I said, out of all the women I done had, I had that one where I could lay up with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was out the way. She out in the birds and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I go lay up with her. That was my mission for the night. You know what I'm saying? I was out the hood. I was out the way. You know what I'm saying? That was the mission for the night. See, the thing with missions is y'all had that communication. You know, y'all know before y'all link, hey, you don't got no crazy ass baby daddy, baby mama, boyfriend, girlfriend, no nothing. You don't got nothing, you know, behind you. You know what I'm saying? Before me and you link up, we got to already had it understood. You don't, nah, you don't got nothing going on. I don't got nothing going on. We about to do our thing and then we gone. You know what I'm saying? We make sure that we didn't have problems. You know what I'm saying? Before we met up and shit, you know, we talked to each other. We got to know each other before we start doing it. You know, sneaky link motherfuckers, they don't give a fuck. They try to hurry up and fuck right then and there. Don't know who they dealing with. Don't know the person they dealing with. Got a crazy motherfucker behind them. You know what I'm saying? Ready to kill some shit. You know what I'm saying? And these sneaky link people, they don't even take the time out to get to know that person because they trying to be sneaky. They trying to hurry up and do some shit. You know what I'm saying? And fuck around and get killed. How you know this, Mr. All Up? Shit, it almost happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I done been on both sides, the sneaky link and the mission side. But I came from the mission days, you know what I'm saying? And I see the difference between the missions and the sneaky links. Like, sneaky links to get your ass killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Another mission I had. Well, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna label that one a sneaky link. I'm gonna come back to that when I get to the sneaky link. But the mission, right? I had another mission, Uh, she was a girl that I was with, for a couple of years and shit. We fell apart, whatever, but we still was messing around. You know what I'm saying? She was a mission. You know what I'm saying? Girls that I meet in the mall when I get their number and shit like that, they was missions. You know what I'm saying? Girls I meet in the hood and shit, they was missions. The thing I noticed between missions and sneaky links, 90% of sneaky links is off the internet. You know what I'm saying? These people meeting each other off the internet. People not trying to organically meet no more. Everybody want to meet digitally. You know what I'm saying? And that be the problem. Because you don't know who the fuck you meeting. You just online trying to meet some shit and run into a crazy ass situation. Missions, you meeting people organically. You meet people organically, you vet them organically. Sneaky links, you meeting motherfuckers off the internet. You know what I'm saying? Third or fourth party type person. You know what I'm saying? Your homegirl got a person for you, so you won't be a third wheel type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't how you meet people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go on that mission. You gotta meet that motherfucker naturally, you know? Because a lot of times you block your blessings by not meeting people organically. Because anybody you can meet organically beat any fucking internet person you will ever meet in your life. You know what I'm saying? No matter how hard that motherfucker flexing, all on the net, 10 Ferraris in the driveway, all that bullshit. I can guarantee you, even if you do meet that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, on the sneaky link, right? Being sneaky. You do meet this motherfucker. Guarantee you it's gonna be something about him you ain't gonna like. You know what I'm saying? Now you would know that if you met that person organically. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know. But back in my time, back in mission days, you know, we had the boost next tails. We was chirping each other. So sometimes a motherfucker chirp the wrong number. You know what I'm saying? Chirp the wrong number. You thinking you about to chirp your mans, you end up chirping the girl phone. You know what I'm saying? The girl hit you back. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get to talking and shit. Sometimes that shit happen. Turn that into a mission. You know, I guess you could say that was the way of like the internet before the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like off the chirp. But before you meet each other, y'all talking. You know what I'm saying? For some time. Because y'all don't even know what each other look like. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just on the chirp and y'all like each other's voice. You know what I'm saying? So y'all get to talking this shit. And that was before people was like sending pictures and all of that shit. Like it wasn't like that back then. So you basically got to get to know this person, by talking to him on the phone and shit. You know what I'm saying? Before y'all meet and all of that, like you don't just meet somebody you start chirping. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got to get to know each other. By then, y'all meet. That's the mission. You know what I'm saying? That was the mission. Now the next mission. Time to hit. You know what I'm saying? Now you on that mission. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way how it worked back then. Everything was organic. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, everything artificial. You know what I'm saying? It's all over the world wide web. You know what I'm saying? To meet each other and all of that. Like that's the craziest shit, but that's that sneaky link shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me throw myself on the internet to everybody and make the best motherfucker win. You know what I'm saying? That's that sneaky shit. Cause you can't meet somebody out here in the world, you know. So you gotta throw yourself on the internet, knowing 9 times out of 10 you gonna get scammed or something. You know what I'm saying? But you don't give a fuck. You just gonna put yourself on the internet. You a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it might sound public, but you're not gonna know what that person doing. You know what I'm saying? You just know that they threw themselves on the internet, but now they got all these people in their inbox and they throwing themselves around to everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was on there to sell they sell. You know, it's that sneaky link shit. That motherfucker, the girl ain't gonna pop back up on the internet and tell you who all been hitting. You know what I'm saying? Who she been flying out to. You know what I'm saying? She the sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that hit her, they ain't gonna never speak on it. You know what I'm saying? They just flew her out, whatever. You know, got her a bag or something, and they smacked and sent their ass back home. She was a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? And that's all because of the internet. You know. So yeah, that sneaky shit crazy. But I'm gonna tell you about this little sneaky broad, right? I only thought of her because she had inboxed me on Facebook, right? So I met her like 2016. You know what I'm saying? She had jumped in my inbox. She was a girl from the hood. You know, I didn't know her, but she knew me or whatever. You know, so she jumped in my inbox. We got to talking. I pulled up on her. You know what I'm saying? We went to the room. You know what I'm saying? I smashed. You know, and ever since she just been on my head. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, she from the hood, but didn't nobody know me and her was messing around. You know, she was a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Again, she hopped on me on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We got to talking. Boom. Now we met up. Now we doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? And don't nobody in the hood know what we doing. But she started getting sloppy with it. You know what I'm saying? All that dumb shit or whatever. It was stupid shit. But anyway, um, she had to move in with her sister, right? And her sister was staying with her man. And her and her man, they had 8 kids. You know what I'm saying? So, old girl moved in with the sister and the baby daddy with the 8 kids in the house, right? The sneaky link bitch I'm talking about. This bitch get the fucking her sister baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? Had a baby by the nigga, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? She fucked up everything with her sister, all that, being a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sneaky link shit get deep. You know what I'm saying? It don't just start and stop with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit be person behind person behind person. Like, man, missions, we wasn't like that. You know, we'll fuck with somebody, you know, and that'd be that. We wasn't all that bouncing around everywhere and all of that weird shit that these sneaky links on. You know what I'm saying? We ain't do that, you know. But that's what it is, you know. These sneaky links, they for everybody, you know, and that's why the damn disease rate so high, you know. Everybody getting caught up, motherfuckers getting killed, all type of shit, you know. Cause motherfuckers on sneaky shit. Motherfuckers got diseases and ain't telling nobody. It's sneaky, you know. Motherfuckers out here fucking everybody behind everybody. That's sneaky, you know. Motherfuckers getting on the internet, auditioning themselves, selling themselves on the internet. Sneaky links, you know. Shit run deep, man. The mission was the original people. You know what I'm saying? That met each other organically. And there's still a lot of us out here that still do that to this day. That, just like me. I don't do that internet shit. You know what I'm saying? I meet people organically. I don't, no. I mean, it's cool, you know, but I don't do that. I'm not about to be on the internet looking for a woman and all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's stupid. You know, when there's people everywhere, you know why you got to get on the internet for that. So that's what I'm saying. That's that sneaky shit. You just on there trying to sell yourself to the highest bidder, and you gonna keep that on hush. You know what I'm saying? You gonna keep that on hush until the motherfucker dump you or something. Then you want to try and expose them or some shit like that. But it's a sneaky link. You ain't gonna say nothing. Cause you ain't trying to ruin his reputation or what he got going on in that. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna say nothing. Sneaky link. You know? Both of y'all fucking 10 people apiece. Y'all are giving each other these STDs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't know where it's coming from. Sneaky links. Missions, we ain't had them problems. Ain't nobody had diseases back then. We ain't had that shit. We wore condoms and we didn't fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we had sex with a couple people, but wasn't nothing like what the fuck going on now. You know, like I said, with the internet, motherfuckers meeting up off the internet. You know, people don't even got to leave their house no more. They can sit on the couch and meet a motherfucker off the internet. You know, motherfucker be 2 miles down the street from them. You know, you got all type of sites out here that connect you with people like that. And that shit dangerous, you know. But that's what a lot of people doing. Everybody on the sneaky link tip. Ain't nobody on the traditional mission tip. Meeting organically. Ain't nobody with that no more. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to jump the fence, you know. Fuck you. I'm gonna meet mine off the internet. Then this internet person gonna reach out to me, and that's who it's gonna be. That's who my soulmate is. Not somebody that I could physically meet. Somebody I had to virtually meet. You know what I'm saying? Then how long it'll be before you trust this person to be around? Don't take long. Them sneaky links, it don't take long. That's how the game go. They link up instantly. Then what happens? Motherfuckers get killed, kidnapped, all type of shit. You know, another sad story. You know, couldn't meet the person organically. Had to meet them off the internet. Come to find out this a motherfucking murderer. You know what I'm saying? They be preying on people on the internet. Got caught up being a sneaky link. That shit dangerous. Another sneaky link I had, right? I just spoke on this before, but it was a sneaky link, you know. I was on Facebook one day, you know, I made the status about some scary movie that came out. I asked who wanna go to the movie with me, you know. Girl jumped on it, you know, long story on all that. Me and her linked up, you know. She came, pulled up on me and everything, you know what I'm saying? We went to the movie, I paid for it, you know, all of that shit. We had a good night, you know. We came back, she was like, you know, I fuck with you, whoop, you know. She like, whatever you want to do, it's on you, you know. I'm like, shit, I want to fuck, you know what I'm saying? She was with it. Psh, we did that, right? The same night that I met her, you know what I'm saying? I already been talking to her on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Now we met, you know what I'm saying? That same night. You know what I'm saying? When I made that post on Facebook, I met her that same night. She came through that same night. You know what I'm saying? After that, went to the movies, all that shit. Now we fucking sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about her, and we instantly started fucking. You know, so every day for a whole week, we fucking every day, literally, no lie. A few days in, her baby daddy started chiming in. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing the nigga in the background. He always talking crazy. I'm gonna kill you in that nigga. Ooh, ooh. All this shit, right? Fast forward to tape. This is literally a week later. You know what I'm saying? Literally. From the day I met her to the day this happened, it was literally 7 days. 7 days. You know, I spent the night at her house. that 6th day. You know what I'm saying? By that morning was the 7th day. You know what I'm saying? Spent the night at her house because we was doing so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we fucking good. You know, we drinking, talking our shit, all of that. You know, and this time she was telling me like, you know, she got a wild ass baby daddy, woo woo, but I don't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? That was instant red flag. I should have been done with it then. But like I said, I mean, you know, this shit was going cool. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, shit, I ain't gonna fuck this up, you know. But I was getting my red flags. You know what I'm saying? And then the nigga started calling, you know, talking crazy. He be talking crazy every day. And she just sitting there listening to the shit, you know. Should have been done with it. But that 6th night, right? She had just hit me up out of nowhere. She like, you know, I was at work and shit, you know. She was like, I'm gonna come get you from work, you know, because my car was down at the time, you know. But I wasn't, you know, expecting no ride from her or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? She just called me like right before I got off because she knew what time I got off and shit. So she called me. She like, you know, I'm gonna come get you. You know what I'm saying? When you get off. I'm like, shit, all right, you know. I'm like, what's up? You know. She like, I want you to spend the night with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, okay, all right, cool. You know, got off, went home, took a shower, all that, got ready, boom, jumped in the car with her. We went to her crib, you know. Mind you, this is the sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be spending the night at her house anyway. You know what I'm saying? But here I am being thirsty for some pussy. Not only I'm already trapped in her car, now I'm trapped at her house. You know what I'm saying? Like a damn fool to get some pussy, you know. All the other times we was fucking was on my time. You know what I'm saying? At my place, you know what I'm saying? The car, shit like that. Like, it was always on my turf. You know what I'm saying? But this one time, I went over there, you know. So she came pick me up. We went over there, you know. Spent the night, right? Had a damn good night. I ain't gonna lie. But it wasn't worth the next thing that I was about to run into, you know. So that morning, we get up, her nigga blowing her phone up, baby daddy, you know. She pick up, the nigga like, yeah, I'm about to pull up, kill you and that nigga. I know that nigga over there, woo, woo, all of that. She banged the line, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, see, it's time to get me up out of here. You know what I'm saying? She's sitting there playing, lotioning up her legs. I'm like, hey, look, I'm standing over her. We in the living room. You know, she on the couch, lotioning up her legs and shit. I'm standing over her. I'm like, look, get me the fuck up out of here. I don't want nothing to do with what y'all got going on, you know. She like, hold on, just give me a minute. Boom! The front door came down. Psh, front door hit the damn ground. I look like, what the fuck? It ain't nothing but all smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like the police kicked the door down. It was some shit like that. I looked through the smoke. It was her baby daddy. Now I knew what the baby daddy looked like because she had pictures of him on her Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So I knew what he looked like, but he didn't know what I looked like. He just knew it was a nigga around his baby mom type shit. You know, man, this nigga was standing there in the doorway. I was like, oh, okay, bet. I charged right at him. I'm about to fight with him. I'm thinking we about to fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to beat this nigga ass and get up out of here, you know? Nah. When I started coming towards him, nigga pulled a whole chopper out his drawers. Nigga had on joggies. He pulled out a whole chopper. I'm like, oh, shit. I turned around. I ran back to the back. You know what I'm saying? Tell me why her back door had the motherfucking wood in that bitch, you know, nailed up and shit, you know, so can't nobody break in that bitch. Had that bitch nailed up, man. So I couldn't run out the back though. I was trapped. I had to run through in the basement because it wasn't no side door. It was just the front door and the back door. So I had to run downstairs. Downstairs, no windows, all cinder block windows. I was trapped in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Nigga had me. Nigga was standing there at the top of the key. You know, at the top stairs. You know, he like bring your ass up these stairs. You know, I'm like, hell no. I'm like, you just gonna have to come down here and kill me. You know what I'm saying? And all this shit happened so quick. It might sound like it took a long time, but this shit was so quick. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, the nigga got me to, come up the stairs. You know what I'm saying? So I started walking up the stairs. I said, fuck it, man. He just gonna have to kill me. You know. So while I'm coming up the stairs, he holding the chopper, towards me and shit. I just got my hands up. I'm walking up the stairs. I'm like, hey, look, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Just let me up out of here, you know? So he walking me up the stairs, I'm like, man, I'm up out of here, I don't got nothing to do with this, He's just like, man, shut the fuck up. Woo woo. I'm like, all right. So I got close enough up the stairs. And he still had the chopper on me, but that chopper got a nose on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I get close enough, I'm snatching this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm on that type of time, I made that step. He knew what I was about to do. You know what I'm saying? He knew what I was about to do. The nigga bagged up. He bagged all the way up far enough so I couldn't reach for the gun. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, this nigga caught me, But fuck you, So I kept walking up the stairs, right? I get all the way to the top. Nigga walked behind me, put the chopper to the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? And he walked me out the front. So while he walking me out through the front, the baby mama's still sitting there on the couch. She ain't even got up off the couch. That's just how fast all this shit happened, He walked me out the door, right? I get out the door, I'm like this the whole time, hands up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, you got me, just don't shoot me. You got me, Nigga jerking the back of my head with the gun, all type of shit. Shut the fuck up. I'm like, all right, I'm like, I ain't trying to die. You know what I'm saying? I was fresh out of prison and shit. Like, I felt like a fucking goofy, because I knew not to spend the night over there anyway, but I did, So he walked me out the door. I get out the door, right? When I look up, it's a taxi cab sitting in front of the house. This was the taxi. He caught a taxi cab over there with the chopper in his damn jogging pants. No lie, on Beezy. You know what I'm saying? So when he caught the taxi over there, he got out the car, came kick the door down, all of that shit that I just explained happened, and he walking me out the door now. The damn taxi man was just pulling off. When dog was walking me out the door, the taxi man was just pulling off. That's how fast all that shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, the taxi man was still there. So all this might have happened within like 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Man, scariest shit of my life, But the nigga walked me out the door. He told me don't come back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, psh, you got it, I walked out the port. Nigga blew that bitch in there. Boom! Nigga, I said don't come back. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he did that, I took off. I did. I got the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? I called my mans up. I'm like, hey, we smoking shit. You know what I'm saying? He already knew what time I was on. He was like, what happened? I'm like, man, this nigga kicked dough in, I'm like, we about to slide, I'm on my way. Now, the crazy thing is this shit happened in my hood, but it happened on the other side. So I was on the other side. That I was in violation for being on the other side anyway. You know what I'm saying? Over there laid up and shit. So, I was bold. You know what I'm saying? I was bold. But it was good. You know what I'm saying? I got caught slipping. You feel me? I'm already on the other side, Baby daddy know I'm over here, nigga kicked though. Now he walking me out the house with chop on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was caught, So when I took off, I ran back on my side, right? While I'm running, towards 7 Mile, I'm running up Evergreen. The house was literally on Evergreen Road. You know what I'm saying? I'm running up Evergreen. I'm on the phone with my man. Psh, you smoking shit. You feel me? He like, big. I'm like, I'm running over there now. You know what I'm saying? Because the other side, right across the street. But where his crib was at, where he was at, is a little further down Evergreen. You know what I'm saying? On one of the blocks in the hood. But you take Evergreen down to where he was at. So in between all that running I was doing to get to him, my mind, it was going. You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking about a whole lot. I was thinking about how I just left the prison yard just a few months ago. And if I do this, I'm gonna go back there. How you figure that, Mr. Roll Up? I've been fucking girl all week. You know what I'm saying? And now my DNA is in her house. So if I go back over there and I whack the nigga, guess what? That's on me. You know what I'm saying? All of that was going through my mind. I had got out that February. This happened like that October, just a few months after I had got out of prison. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm running up the street, all them thoughts was popping in my head. I'm like, if I go back and I whack that nigga, I'm gonna have to kill her too because she gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So both of them gotta get it. How am I gonna beat that? When it's text messages, it's phone calls between me and her recently. You know what I'm saying? I was fucking laid up in that house for the night. My DNA all in the covers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I gonna get away with it? So I started thinking rationally. I was like, I'm gonna just have to take that L. I turned around, I looked back. I was the other side. I was slipping for being on the other side anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened to me, I let it happen because I wanted some pussy. I know this bitch had a crazy ass baby daddy. Why the fuck am I spending the night at her house and she got a crazy baby daddy? But like I said, I was slipping. And that's what a lot of niggas don't admit. Like niggas that survive shit like that, they don't admit that they was slipping. And that's why a lot of them crash out and kill a nigga and catch a murder. You know what I'm saying? Be in prison for the rest of their life. I just had to take my L with it. I was like, man, I fucked up. I should have never been over there in the first place. Shit would have never happened. So by the time I got to my man's, he was sitting on the porch with that bitch in his lap. You know what I'm saying? When I came and I was running up, he hopped up. Like, come on, let's go. By the time I get to him, I'm all out of breath. It was damn near like a mile run. So I had a minute to think. You know what I'm saying? I got to him. I'm like, hey, man, we calling it off. He go reach in his pants, grab the second burner. He about to pass that bitch to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, we calling it off. You know what I'm saying? He like, the fuck you on? I'm like, bro, we do this shit, we going to prison. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dog, my DNA is in that house, bro. Like, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. My DNA is in that house. So I'm going down for it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And I'm like, we gonna have to take her out too. It's gonna have to be both of them. Like, we going to prison, bro. Everything I learned from prison, all that shit came to me while I was talking to him. So he felt everything I was saying. And he put both guns on his hip. He was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you feel strong about that. So, all right, cool. But he was ready to go do it. You know what I'm saying? And we was going to go through there and do that. But I had to think about it. I'm like, nah. I'm like, nigga acting out of emotions. You know what I'm saying? This gonna cause me the rest of my life. I know this. I just came from prison. I didn't just hear some prison stories. I didn't know a couple of people that came from prison. No, I was there. I just came from there. And I got lucky that I came home on time, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I came home on time. And now I'm about to fuck up. And I'm on parole on top of that. Done. You know? So when I had that talk with my mans, we squashed it, we left it alone. And now that I think about it, I'm glad that, I did. Because later on down the line, that nigga snitched on me about a damn driving ticket. You know what I'm saying? Show you how, you get saved from a lot of shit. Because he was ready to go do a whole murder with me. You know what I'm saying? But the nigga turned around and snitched on me about a damn driving ticket. You feel me? Like, if he had snitched about that driving ticket, you think he wouldn't have snitched about that murder? You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole M1, you think he wouldn't have said nothing then when he said something about a driving ticket, $150 ticket, you know? So I'm glad that it didn't happen. But that was a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? That sneaky link almost turned deadly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, them sneaky links, that shit is it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game, but everybody addicted to it because it's the new wave. The new wave is just to meet people off the internet, here, there, blah, 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 quick fuck. I want the nut. That's all that's going on now. You know, is prostitution at its best. Like I said, back in the mission days, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? We knew where all the hookers stood at. All the hookers stood on the corners. So we knew what women to pick because the prostitute stood on the corner. While the women was, out and about, the malls, things like that, parties, events, clubs, blah, 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 blah. The prostitutes was known to stand on the corner. So we knew that if we wanted a woman, we would court a woman by mean or organically, somewhere out and about. As opposed to the prostitute, we know if we want that, like on some sneaky shit, they down the street. They the sneaky links. The prostitute is the sneaky links because niggas ain't gonna never tell nobody about no prostitutes they hidden. You know what I'm saying? Even if they found the bitch off list crawlers or, whatever. Nigga ain't gonna tell you that. That's how it was back in the day. Niggas ain't gonna tell you they hitting the prostitutes, for the quick 30. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't gonna tell you that. Sneaky links. But that was back in the days, sneaky links. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, all these girls prostituting. They all prostituting themselves on the internet. They selling themselves every day on the internet. Have naked pics, you know what I'm saying? Selling content, OnlyFans, got every social site, very active in the internet community. They auctioning themselves off. They the prostitutes of the internet. The real women don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? The real women don't be on the internet talking about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The real women be on the internet talking about some business, something like that. The ones on here, talking about men all the time, them the sneaky links. Them are the sneaky links. The missions are the women that ain't on the internet. Or if they ain't on there telling their business. You know what I'm saying? Because They got their men off a mission. They can't relate to the internet girls, the sneaky links. You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa. The same thing for the men. You know? I just use women because I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? And I vet women. So, it ain't like a, one-sided thing. I just speak from my angle because I'm a man. But sneaky links are very dangerous. Very, you know. Um, Let me throw this in there real quick, right? It was a nigga from my hood I was beefing with. He was from the other side. He was one of the DA niggas, Dark Army, the Vice Lord niggas, right? And me and him, we did not fuck with each other, We had some shit going on. But anyway, one day I ran up on him. I ran up on him and his boys by myself. You know what I'm saying? I ran up on him and his boys. They was caught slipping. They was on my side of 7 Mile. You know what I'm saying? I caught them on my side. Got on them, right? Me and him, we got cool after that. He respected me. Because I ran up on him and his crew. You know what I'm saying? Even though he on my side, but I ran up on them by myself. You know what I'm saying? He had mad respect for me, him and his crew. You know what I'm saying? So we pieced all that shit out. Ever since then, me and him always been cool. You know what I'm saying? So every time I see him, it's all love and all that. And we used to beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, we was at each other's throat, But, like I said, I pulled a real nigga move. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do nothing but respect me. So we moved on. So, anyway, this about 2 years later, you know what I'm saying? After me and him got cool, he got killed. How he get killed? He got killed by being a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? So he messing with this nigga girl and shit. The nigga caught him. Instead of the boyfriend going off on him, the boyfriend going off on the girlfriend. The sneaky link nigga that I'm talking about, the nigga that I was beefing with, we cool, not him. His name Dre. You know what I'm saying? He got the woofing at the nigga because the nigga getting on his girl. Bro, you the sneaky link. You was supposed to bounce. You know what I'm saying? But no. He in there roughhousing with the nigga that's getting on his girl. So the nigga trying to tell him, hey, bro, bag up. This ain't your beef. Woo-de-woo, He's still going at him. Dre's still going at him. Nigga, blah, 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 blah. Boyfriend said, all right, pulled his gun out. Boom, smoked his ass. Right there. You know what I'm saying? In front of the girlfriend and everything. Smoked that nigga. He gone. I went to his funeral too, It was crazy seeing him there in that casket, through all the shit that I've been through with him over the years. You know what I'm saying? And see him laying in the casket, It was fucked up, and it all started off of being a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when the boyfriend started arguing with the girlfriend, he was just supposed to bounce. He was supposed to be gone. Even if he had to walk, no matter what the situation was, when the boyfriend or the girlfriend, whoever it is that you dealing with, when they spouse or partner or whatever the case is, when they come in the house, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's simple as that. It's over with. When they come in the house and they ain't on your ass, get the fuck out of there. Let them argue, fight, let them do whatever they do. Hey, that's the distraction to get you out of there. Get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's not what Dre did. Because Dre was a high head like that. You know what I'm saying? So he started going off on the nigga. The nigga smoked him. Now he dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? I went to his funeral. Like, Like, damn, man, that shit crazy. You know, off being the sneaky link. This what I'm saying. Like, them sneaky links, that shit dangerous. You know what I'm saying? When if he would have went on the mission, because 9 times out of 10 he probably met her on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Fucking around, and that's how he got caught. To where the nigga walked in on him and her. You know what I'm saying? Being sneaky. You know. But when you go on the missions, like I said, y'all vet each other before y'all even meet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know if you got something going on. So a nigga know not to even pull up. Like, nah. Because believe it or not, all it take a man is a few good conversations. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna know if something wrong with that girl. You know. Now, as far as women, I don't know how quickly it might take a woman, you know. But men, first couple of phone calls, you know what I'm saying? We already know, you know. And when you being on sneaky time, you not investing that type of time into the person that you messing with, you know. That's why they a sneaky link, because you don't know what you dealing with. You just on some sneaky ass shit, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to going on that mission and go meet that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be surprised. You know, when you actually just go out and meet somebody organically. Go to the mall. You don't got no money to spend. Go to the mall. Whatever, you know, local mall in your area, wherever you at, go to that mall. Walk around in there, get to talking to people. It's gonna be people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got a mall where you at, go to a grocery store. You know, go to the grocery store in your neighborhood. Talk to people in the grocery store. You know, go to the bar, have a drink, get a gym membership. You know what I'm saying? You can meet somebody in the gym. Take a Sunday class at church. To meet somebody in the church. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of ways to meet somebody. You know, meet people that way. That's the mission way. Meet people organically, see them in person. Because another thing with, you know, the sneaky way of meeting somebody, they can show all of these beautiful ass pictures on the internet, and then when you meet them, they don't look nothing like that. This is another reason why you need to go on missions. You know what I'm saying? And meet people organically, because you don't know. They show you illusion on the internet, and then when you finally meet them, they don't look shit like what they look like on the internet. Those are sneaky links. That's why you got to get on the mission way. Meet people. There's plenty of people all around the world every day, all over the place. Again, you don't know how to do it. I just gave it to you. You know, go the mission way. You know what I'm saying? Go to the mall. Go to the club. Go to a bar. Go out. Fuck you. Go meet somebody. Go to a pool party. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go out. Drive around in your car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll meet somebody somewhere. You don't got to do it on the internet. That internet shit, that's the sneaky way. And that shit get you killed. You know what I'm saying? Or you will fuck around, meet somebody that didn't look like what they look like on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember the show Catfish? That's still going on. Meet that person organically. You know what I'm saying? Missions is the way to go. The only way to go. Stop doing this sneaky link shit. You know what I'm saying? It's getting people killed. And you just not tuning in, go back to the top. I said this all from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Sneaky links dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Missions can be dangerous, but you got a better chance at going on a mission than the sneaky link. It's been another live stream of Roll Up a Power Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.